Today we're starting on kaleidocycles, and you'll need to have your pattern, ruler, and this little wooden stick, a pair of scissors, and a compass. So to get started, what you're going to have to do is score every line on this piece of paper. This will crease the paper fibers so that it'll be easy to fold. So you're going to put your ruler on each one of these diagonal lines, both directions. So I have to do every line. Press pretty hard. You should be able to feel the little crease that it makes in the paper. You can feel that. So you're going to go every line, both directions. And then you also need to line up with the corners and score the paper inside this part on the middle of each one of these diamond shapes. Go all the way across. Then after you have done that and you've scored all of the diagonal lines and that, you cut on this outside line, being careful not to cut off the tabs. So this is one that's been cut out, but I missed this one little spot here. So you're actually going to be cutting off of the numbers. You're just following this outside line. Then your job is to crease it on every fold, going both directions. And if you've creased this pressed hard enough with that wooden stick, it will fold pretty easily. If you forgot one part, you can easily go back and score that. You're going to go that direction, and then you go back and go this direction. You also need to fold it, crease it in the middle. And now it's ready to design. The way this fits together is that it looks kind of like a snake, I think, but you want to fold this tab into this, and it'll go together to make your pattern. And then we're ready to design. So you're going to lay this back flat. You're actually going to have 4 designs. You've got 4 rows. This is the first row. The second row, half of the design is here and half is here. The third row and the fourth row. The design should be the same in each section. I have one that's finished that you can see that the design is the same in each section. Half of this design is right here and this half is over here, so that when it fits together, it's going to make a design. Here's another one that's finished and ready to color. And I'll show you how to do that next. An easy thing to do is to use your compass, and when you loosen it, you turn it to the left. You can move this, make sure that you've got the arrow or this little sitting right in the groove, and tighten it down. And let's say I want to use it on this row. I know that if I put my compass point in the same place on each section, that it will be the same. Then when it's folded, it'll fit together. Then half of the circle goes right here, and half of it goes to here. And you can try folding it and see if it fits back together. And that will fit together and make the circle. Another thing you can do is use your ruler and measure and make some marks along this point. So if I measure out from the middle, let's say I want to do 1 inch across here, 1 inch at the 1 inch mark. Come over here and I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just lining up the inch mark there, making the mark there. And if I do that on each one of these, I know that when I draw my lines to this little dots and I fold it, that it's going to fit together and make kind of a neat design. So in this project, you're going to have to use your compass, your ruler. You have to think about your design, how it's going to make a design when it fits together. So there I've got the marks. And if I draw my line, let's say to this point, on each one of these, and then I go to fold it, it should make a design, probably a kind of a star shape. We'll find out what it looks like. So when I fold this and it goes together this direction, looks like it makes kind of a triangular shape. They won't fit together maybe exactly in the same spot just because of the way it's folded. So if I fold it that direction, it looks like that. If I go back this direction, it looks like that. Makes kind of a starburst there. You need to have quite a few designs on here. I'll pull back one of these and show you some things. When I made this design, I used a protractor and I just lined it up with the center point and drew a line going each direction. And then these points were measured on here so that when it's folded it should fit together. This was just made with some random things like a fork, paper. This is a paper clip. So let's see what this looks like when you fold it. So since they were measured and started and stopped in the same spot, this fits together in the same direction. And then this part, the circle was done with a compass. That protractor design makes kind of a petal design here. And then because these all fit together, they should fit pretty close when they're folded. And they can go either direction. And then this slides in there. This triangle was made just by doing a straight line all the way across with the ruler. And then this triangular shape was just made, hook that together. On this one, this was the compass. And when they drew the lines straight down from that compass mark, it ended up being in the same spot so that when you put this together, it should make a really cool design. It looks cool. When it's all colored in, we will laminate this so that it makes it stronger. After it's laminated, then we put it together. You cut off the extra, you have to refold, crease it, and to put this together to tape it, it looks like it needs an extra little piece here. Sometimes they want to rip on you and you can just tape it on the inside. Then to tape this, you have to be really careful. You want to get this to fit together exactly as close as you can and a really tight fit. You don't want some of the edges to stick out like that or it won't fold right. Then you put your piece of tape on, not going this direction. You want to go lengthwise. You're going to have 8 pieces of tape pre-cut and ready to go, so you don't have to be stopping to cut that. And I'm going to do each section. And then when you try to slide this in, this is difficult to do when you're just putting it in that way. If you turn it so that it slides in like this, it fits together a lot better. Sometimes you find out that to get it to fit, you have to clip just a tiny bit off these two corners. Then when you slide it in, it should fit nicely so your design meets up. And then you're going to use a piece of tape on each side of that. One piece here and one piece over here. And I ended up with needing an extra piece. And then you can flip your Kaleidocycle. You'll end up, it looks different each direction depending on how you fold it. This design is going to look different that way and that way. So you can fold it both directions. That piece of tape should have been a little bit longer. So to review real quick, what you need to do, you've got your flat piece of paper here, you're going to use your ruler, your wooden stick. You need to make sure that you score on every one of those diagonal lines and also through the middle, or it will not fold correctly. You need to press pretty hard on that. Then you're going to cut it out and start your design. You need to be really careful when you measure. You need to be careful with your design to make sure that it's going to line up right. If you don't measure, it won't work. So you've got to make sure of that. When you get done with that, you're going to outline with a black marker and use markers to color this in. You should color it in the same in each design. When you're designing this, be careful that you get the correct piece designed here. This left side goes to this side right here. This design is this part of it, so that when it fits together, you have a complete design. Takes a lot of thinking. You've got to figure out how this flat design is going to fit together into a 3D Kaleidocycle. Oh boy. You can always fold it. It's done out of cardstock, so it's pretty sturdy. If you fold it too many times, it might start to break on you, but it should be okay. So this one folds together nicely and completes that design. After you've colored it in, we will laminate it, and then we will tape it into your Kaleidocycle. And that's it.